for those of us who really don't believe that FOMO season is here and the FOMO is starting from small cap to medium cap to large cap. It's slowly starting and it's going to happen very soon. These are something the market is showing you. Some of these assets are up 100% for the month, 600% for the year, and they are starting to take off. Look at some of these. The difference, however, is when it's a large cap, the ROI is smaller. When it becomes a medium cap, it's bigger. It's already like crazy upside. Now remember, if you look at the current price and what we were saying about it, it's already 100% from there. So you need to know when something is entering into the FOMO territory to make the most of that impulse. So there are different assets which are going through that phase. It's already up 30% for the day. It's already up 300% for the month. So if we go back at all those thought process which the SI family was sharing a few days back, you can now see that thought process was right. The price is going up. Now, in the exact same market, you'll watch a lot of these large caps which are not moving. That is where a lot of question comes in. How can I really make the most out of this opportunity? Can XRP really participate in this bull run? And if it does, what should we look for? This is a comparison between XRP and the total altcoin market in terms of time and upside in the last run up. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. In yesterday's video, say around 4 minutes, I was showing you Ether on a daily chart and saying this candle shows there should be some price action to the upside. Great. Now here we are. Pull up the Ether chart. This is what you're looking at. So when you're looking at the Ether on a daily, you see, the price is going up. That inverted hammer did show you it's going up. But what's the trouble there? We don't have the momentum, right? Why is that? Because when you zoom a little bit out on a 3-day chart you're watching, you have negative price action. You have a hammer pattern. Before that, it was a hanging man. So it's a little bit confusing. Do we have a scenario before where we had similar negative patterns on a 3-day? On a 3-day. So here we are, Ether on a 3-day chart showing you in November 2023, you had that hammer. You had that hanging man candle. But the price still went up. Why though? That's a big question to ask. I would argue it's because the higher time frame structure, which is a weekly or a monthly, supersedes that lower time frame movement. So what was that higher time frame structure? It was clearly showing you this. This is Ether on a weekly, highlighting the fact that it was a breakout. It didn't come down for the retest. Bulls were really strong. How can you identify that? You look at the buying, selling volume to the price action. There was around 80% selling volume compared to the previous candle on that weekly, but still the price barely came down. So the bulls were so crazy. They were buying anything and everything which the sellers were dropping into the market. Now, let's look at what we have here. Last week was crazy. There was a ton of buying volume. That shows huge interest in the buying volume, because if you keep this here and you're actually looking at where we went in terms of the volume, it clearly shows you like that was like what, 750 million, something like that, going like nuts. And now if you look at this candle, yeah, there's a little bit of buying volume, but the market hasn't decided where to go. And remember, we're getting close to the end of this week. So now, to understand which direction we're going, we directly jump onto a daily, because we need to know where this candle would actually go next 24 hours and close. So most likely, the price action is showing you I'm making a rounded bottom. Now keep this in mind, this is a 4-hour chart of Ether, and this makes a lot of difference in altcoins. The reason why you're watching these FOMO happening in a lot of different assets. Now, in the scientific investor family, I've been posting different assets which compared to these are in this phase. They're about to break higher and start the FOMO season, right? They are the assets where your eyes should be focused on for a breakout so that you get to use the maximum potential as soon as they break out. So you have the confirmation, yes, you missed the bottom, but now you have the confirmation to ride the next leg up. Yes, some are small caps, some are medium caps, some are large caps, but you have all of that here in the scientific investor family where thousands of members are readily watching whatever I'm posting there. If you'd like to take benefit of that, use the link in the description below. Now, let's get back into the charts. When you're here, while we're going through the charts, smash that like button for me. Let that pop. Now, if you do look at the price action on a 4-hour chart, the micro is showing us a trend line like this. So Ether on a 4-hour. While the RSI on the same horizon shows you a bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence. I would like to see the price come back up, test around 4,000. Now, whether we get a negative divergence at that point or not, we'll have to sit and watch. But as of now, one of the easy things which you can say is the fact that the weekly chart is showing you that the MACD may cross to the upside at any point, which means the next 2 or 3 weeks, it should be interesting, very interesting. Now, to put that into the time and ROI perspective, you now have to zoom a little bit out. And I think this is how most altcoins would perform in terms of time factor. We are going in the recent past. We are putting this vertical line here for the MACD cross. So 23rd October was when the Ether MACD cross came to the upside on a weekly. Now, if you watch this clearly, from that point, you were grinding to the upside for next 3, 4, 5 weeks. In between, you had a couple of weeks of slowdown. But if you do measure that move, what you're watching is like the price actually went up 20% before it slowed down. And then it went up to 37% before it slowed down. Then again, it went up to 50% before it slowed down. Now, if you look at the total corrective action and how the price action is moving, it is showing you 50% up, then 80% up. What should be the next leg? Most likely 100, 110, something like that from the local bottom. That clearly means you're talking about $5,000, $6,000 Ether as the next leg up. So the MACD agrees. RSI is getting very close to that overbought territory. 70 plus is where you get to see euphoria. And at that time, you need to look at the monthly. If the monthly is also entering back into the overbought territory in Ether, this is going to be a crazy season. Does the monthly candle agree with that? I would argue it does, right? Now, that means all coins are looking like they are about to enter into that banana zone, which means, as we just highlighted in the last video, the golden pot of opportunity is now before it starts popping up. Now, choice is yours, 100%. When the Bitcoin dominance starts to break lower, that would be a huge sign for every one of us to say, I'm not in the market. If that's you, then you should be in the market. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I very strongly believe that this is that phase where the dominance breaks lower and the price moves higher. Now, you can agree or disagree. That's okay. That's completely fine. We can agree to disagree. But let me know in the comment section, what do you really think? Because if you are disagreeing, there should be something valid. On Bitcoin side of things, this is the trend line of Bitcoin. Bitcoin chart on a weekly argue the point. You are now on a trend line which is lasting for like 1 year. Unless that break to the downside, you don't have to go negative. Now we are starting to develop something. Notice the pattern here. We discussed about 2 key possibilities in the Bitcoin to note. 1, negative divergence. 2, hidden bearish divergence, which means the price come back up, but the RSI says, no, I'm not coming back up. So you have all these different possibilities. If the price actually fails to go up when the RSI goes like nuts, that's a hidden bearish divergence. Whereas when the price comes up and the RSI doesn't, someone else is selling even though the price came up. So that shows you what? Negative divergence. So yes, there are possibilities in Bitcoin coming up saying, with this weekly candle close and the next one which confirms would most likely show you a negative divergence. Because last time, remember, I was thinking this is going to be a negative divergence because the price was going up, RSI was going down. But the very next week, boom, it popped up. So the price action, the market was super crazy because of the whales and the financial institutions readily trying to shake this tree. You don't want to be on that part. You want to get the maximum confirmation. Yes, if the next weekly candle breaks below 66 and close, it's kind of over, right, for Bitcoin. And that's exactly where altcoins burst. So if you tie that up with Bitcoin dominance, if you tie that up with Ether, if you look at Ether to Bitcoin, large caps to Bitcoin, you are now watching that trend. And that's exactly where I'm coming to with XRP. If you do look at the 3-day chart of XRP and look at the MACD, it's on a trend line. You're not kind of, running up. You're not kind of running down. It's very, very stable. It's like a stable coin. But the argument which we should put is this range of bottom is really strong. We're not breaking this to the downside. Yeah, we're not breaking this to the upside as well. But if you do notice, these 2 candles, that's a 3-day chart on XRP showing you the 3-day candle on 15th May and 18th May was consistently higher. After that, you literally had to form 5 candles to test these bottom. So that shows you the bulls are getting stronger. But to argue that this asset is about to do next 10, 20, 30x, you need to see a break of 0.62. That is a breakout from this macro pattern which started all the way back from 2021. Now, yes, your measured move goes bigger and bigger, wider and longer because it gives you crazy ROI expectations in this asset. Some of them shows you there is a 10x possibility. Some of them shows you there is micro 300%. So you do have upside in the asset. And when you compare that with the total altcoin market, this is something to keep in mind. In the total run-up of close to 420 days, 400 plus days, if you notice this, altcoin market went up for 610 days, 612 to be precise. XRP went up for 400, but the bottom in both the cases were exact same. 10th March 2020. Crazy. But the top is not. Say the top formation in XRP comes by April. The top here forms in May. Okay, that's local top. The next top, which is the cyclical top there, the maximum point came in November 2021. But November 2021, XRP was already trending lower. It didn't go up. So you get to see that, which means it starts with others, but it finished way before others. If you take that into the current context, you need to look at where we are. The bottom formation in these assets, it shows you December 2022. But XRP shows you it bottomed in June, July 2022. So the FTX crash didn't push XRP lower. That's a good thing to know. And now, this breakout in these assets came by November 2023, whereas XRP did that in July 2023. We are running higher. Now, since November 2023, these assets, this is the altcoin market compared with the XRP, altcoin market went up. XRP did not. It's still standing here because of this one major price action pattern, a symmetrical triangle. But if you notice what happened last time, we would be arguing the fact that this breakout is something big. We are waiting for this. We're still in this range. So the run up is going to be very short, meaning if you measure in terms of time, you'll have to argue that it only took around 150 days for this asset to do all the way wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, micro, macro, everything, while the others were doing very choppy, very volatile, heavy movements in the market. So if you bring your attention back into the market, the Bitcoin dominance is something you should be looking clearly, because it would give you a certain move, like, okay, most likely if Bitcoin is to run up, you need to see this coming back up, retesting this. Great. And then getting rejected would be the best choice for us. Now, why would I say that? Because I would look at this as a trend line and argue a retest there gives you the maximum odds. Because if this pattern breaks to the downside, it should bring in enough momentum to push altcoins through the roof. Which means, when you are on the side of Ether, the argument which you are making, say on a weekly chart, you are now watching that the MACD is about to cross to the upside, and we know how that ends up, right? Historically speaking, when the price drops close to 30-35%, MACD crosses to the downside and immediately goes back up and cross, and the RSI at the same time is entering 70 plus. So this is Ether on a weekly. That shows you massive move to the upside is starting. And last time, such a move lasted around 85, say 90 days. That's a good time to be in the market. Because as a large cap, when this starts running, you'll actually watch a lot of these small to medium caps doing wonders. Put last 1 week in your picture and look at some of these assets. What are they doing? You don't want to actually jump into something which actually popped crazy. Agreed. But when they're starting to break higher, in this, there are some of them which are doing that, right? In this, there are some of them which are literally doing that. So you get to see everything in the scientific investor family whenever I find something. Now, to find something, the trouble is you first have to go through 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 assets. And that's where you get one, which is showing I'm about to enter into the FOMO season. Just like what we were talking about, Jasmine, before and while this was happening, and about Turbo, about Constitution DAO. If you do look at these, it takes a lot of time and effort. But the SI family gets to see all of those. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button for me. And if you want to join the Scientific Investor family, use the link in the description below in YouTube or in the bio on Twitter. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.